The 4 districts are prone to landslides, flooding and other forms of natural disasters because of their many steep hills, leaving some local residents vulnerable. When it rains, I leave the house and go to seek shelter elsewhere. We want them to get us out of those high-risk zones and take us to safer areas where a person can be assisted when they call for help. Those whose houses collapsed, you cannot tell that there used to be houses there. People cultivate to get something to eat, so you understand that while others have food, those affected will be hungry. Most of those affected by the natural disasters are either taken to shelters in schools or end up living with neighbors. Those sheltered in schools cannot cook inside the classrooms, so they do so outside. We must continue to monitor how they are. They stay with those families that took them in, obviously, and they were taken in by families that felt confident that they could support them. The Minister of Local Government says proper shelter must be found for the victims. Ways of assisting them must be found so that they can get proper housing, and this applies to those who have been living in schools. Starting tomorrow, they must be given proper shelter. As for those living with neighbors, even though it is common for us Rwandans to help each other in times of need, they cannot remain there indefinitely. We must find a long-term solution. Calls were also made for people to ensure that their houses are properly built if they want to avoid such problems. Shockingly, some local residents choose to build using brick and not stone foundations. Many of those houses do not have proper foundations, do not have well-secured roofs, so without a doubt they must eventually fall. Because of the natural disasters that plague the 4 districts, long-term development is being hindered.